This week on Bad Brackets, we talk about the best animated Disney movie. Welcome in to Bad Brackets. I'm your host, Randy Isbell. With me this week, the defending Bad Brackets champion, Mr. Harry Broadhurst.
The champ is here. The champ is here.
We'll see how strict the YouTube copyright claims are, but I think that's all right. I think we're all right. Also returning to the show, Mr. Robert Hagan.
Redemption is upon us. Be ready to go down, Mr. Champ.
And joining us for the first time, Miss Haylee Moses. She's over there. She's in the other room. She's just Haylee. How's it going?
Great.
We had to bring in Haylee for the animated Disney movie episode. And I'm just going to say it right now. 24 Disney movie bracket was nearly impossible to create. And that is even after I have made the rule. Pixar movies do not count. Anything that's Disney Pixar will not make this list. We will do a Pixar only bracket sometime down the line. Even with that caveat, it was nearly impossible to cut this down to 24. So I can guarantee you I'm pissing somebody off today.
Yeah, well, I was looking at it. I think according to, you don't buy everything on the internet, but the internet says 73 total animated movies have been made by Disney. I think that number might be a little on the low side.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because you have to get rid of other stuff, and there's a ton. There's just a ton. Let's go over the rules. Let's get right to it. Mr. Hagan over here was going, we don't need to go over the rules. We've done one of these episodes before. And then before we started recording, forgot all the rules. So let's go through it one more time. Each contestant is going to get 3 guesses as to what might possibly be on the bracket. We'll order that in a random spiel win here shortly. See if Robert Hagan can go 2-0 in wheel spins. Points will be given out as far as the seed of whatever pick that they make during this draft. So if it's the 14 seed, you get 14 points. Or if you're Harry, you pick Wheaties. It was the last item that made the bracket. He wins 24 points and runs away with the cereal bracket. If the item is not on the bracket, you get absolutely no points. Sucks to be you. And then before we started the show, everyone gave me their final 4 and their champion. Or if you're Robert Hagan, you gave me a final 4 and then a champion that was not part of your final 4. We got that fixed, but there you go. It's 2 points for each final 4 correct pick, and then you get 5 points if you get the champion correct. You want to keep that private because you don't want the other people to know where you went with it. Everybody understand the rules?
No.
Good.
Okay.
Let's move on and hit the wrong button. There we go. Here's the right button. Harry, how do you feel about the wheel spin this time? You got last time, and you still won.
Rigged.
All right. Hit the old spinner button. And the first pick is gonna go. Is it still rigged?
The wheel just recognizes who the champion is.
All right. The second pick. Hit the spin button. Goes to... Hey.
Yay!
Robert, would you like to win one?
Would I like to win one? I normally don't win it. I don't win at anything.
It's going to land on the line.
Yeah, there you go, Robert.
That would be my
Robert gets the third pick.
Woohoo!
All right, now that we have spun to see who goes first, it is your defending champion, Harry. You get the very first pick. Show these fools how it's done.
I'm gonna go for something that I think will be a little bit lower on the list, so that way it'll grant me some more points. I'll go for guaranteed points a little bit later. Give me 101 Dalmatians.
101 Dalmatians. If I can spell. There we go. I think that's how you spell it. Sure. Haley, you're up.
I'm gonna go for The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
How do you spell?
H-U-N.
You just like making
Is
him
it just-
type.
Is that it, right? Hunchback?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can do, if I could type, I could do that. That's fine.
Luke Holtz is very disappointed in you right now, Isbell.
I've lost my mind. All right. Hagen.
So you guys are going this direction. I'm going to go knowing I'm try to make sure I guarantee myself points every time. I'm going to go with a newer one, Lilo and Stitch.
Still considered new.
I think
No.
so.
All right. Give me your
Come
second
on.
one. Give me your second one. Hagen.
Let's go Sleeping Beauty.
Probably guaranteed points there.
All right. Haley.
I'm gonna put out Hercules.
Oh, that's a good one. That was going to be one of my lower level picks too. All right. For my second pick, I actually get two here because I got second and third. Well, for the first of the two, give me, and I'm sure this is going to be on the list, so give me the guaranteed points. Give me Aladdin.
Okay.
And then for the third, we'll go with, let's go Cinderella.
All right. Back to Haley.
I'm gonna go princess here and say Pocahontas.
Why do you guys give me the ones that I can't spell?
Pocahas.
Hontas. Yep,
Yeah?
you got it. Yep.
Sure.
I actually didn't know how to spell it. I thought it was double A at the end, Hantas, but
No.
All right. Hagen,
All
last
right.
pick.
I'm going to go one that even older than me, and it's one
Is that possible?
I really don't like watching it, but I think it's on the list. Give me Fantasia.
Ugh, terrible. I hope it's not on the list. There's like 24 other better movies than that.
All right.
I'm
will
trying to
see.
go for points.
We will see where they go.
more than 24 better ones.
Exactly.
We will see how it goes. Let's get to our first bracket. I had to look back over to see where we're at. All right, here we go. Your first matchup, the 14th seed is the Jungle Book. The 19th seed is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Fun first matchup for you. All right, everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right. You guys can reveal in 3, 2, 1.
Give me Mowgli.
The only Mowgli is Haley. Snow White
That
is
is
going
terrible, you guys.
to advance. Haley, you're the only one that
It's
picked Jungle.
Baloo.
You're the only one that went Jungle Book. Tell me why.
Because it's like, it's the Jungle Book. And you've got Baloo, you've got Mowgli. It's so much better than Snow White. Snow White's such a, like, it's so slow and weary and sad. And then you got the Jungle Book. And you can't, it's the bare necessities.
I was going to say, there was only one good thing that came out of that movie, and that was that song.
I was just
lots of things came out of that movie.
My exact comment was going to be the Jungle Book has the best song. Snow White is the better movie. Snow White is iconic, even though nothing in Snow White holds up song-wise to the bare necessities. I will agree with you there. And Isbell, that's a future bad bracket, best Disney songs.
Yeah, that would be nearly impossible too, and that's why it needs to be a bracket. 100%. I'm right there with you. All right, let us go to the 11th seed now, which is Mulan, and the 22 seed, Tangled.
I apologize if I sound sniffly to our viewers at home. Just getting over a chest congestion issue.
I'll do my best to clean some of it up. We also have Haley just in this other room, so I'm gonna have echoes to work with too. It's gonna be a fun editing project for me. It's gonna be great. All right, Mulan and Tangled. Let me see your answers. A clean sweep. Kind of not surprised. Tangled was one that barely made it in to the top 24. One of the newer movies. Haley Addie loves this movie a lot. But Harry, why Mulan?
Tangled is just a reimagination of Rapunzel. Mulan's an original story.
Harry, do you agree? Robert, you agree?
I 100%. You know, you have Mulan, which was based off of kind of that story of the Chinese and everything. But Harry's 100% right. You know, Tangled was just reimagined.
Haley, what do you think of it?
I like Tangled. Tangled's a really good movie. But Mulan definitely gets my vote because, I mean, you got Mushu, and it's just overall a great movie. And you got Mushu versus a chameleon. Honestly,
Wasn't Tangled one of the most expensive Disney movies to ever be produced?
I think so. It was up there.
There you go. All right, let's get to the second round of this bracket, and somebody is going to earn the first points of the day. The 3 seed to go up against Snow White and the 7 Dwarves is Aladdin. All right, everybody got their votes in. Harry feeling good about his 3-point lead? I think Harry's muted. The champ is quiet. There you were. You were quiet. There you go. He's back.
Yeah, I was muted.
Champ is back.
All right. So that was my guaranteed point selection. So I'm not shocked that it's on the board, but I mean, 3 points is 3 points.
Absolutely. However, does Aladdin move to the finals of this bracket? Let's see it. Aladdin does move on. What do you have against Aladdin, Robert?
Nothing against Aladdin. I think I'm just old school. I like the older original villain of the witch and Snow White.
What was her name?
So, you would tell me that.
Yeah, she was also one of the main bad guys in Kingdom Hearts for a bit.
I know this. I know this one.
Angelina Jolie played this character in a movie.
Maleficent, dude.
Yeah,
I'm drawing a blank.
Well, we've
drawn a blank right
had
now.
multiple people tell you, and you're still drawing a blank. So that just shows you all you need to know.
Horns.
Maleficent.
Maleficent.
There you go. Harry, why'd you go Aladdin?
I stand by what I said when I took it on the draft picks. My favorite Disney movie of all time.
Haley?
And he was a street rat, and he ended up with the princess. And it's a classic from my childhood. And I think I've probably watched that movie 900 times.
It's not an understatement.
No.
I don't keep a ton of DVDs still, just because everything's gone pretty digital these days. I have the 2-disc diamond edition of Aladdin in my DVD collection.
I think we have the VHS of this still.
Yeah.
To be 100%.
I do. Yeah.
I don't have a working VCR anymore.
Well,
I don't.
So with Haley saying this though, that this is gonna date me of how old I am. That movie came out after I graduated from high school.
Old.
Yeah. I say this all the time on the R&R Sports Report. What can I say?
Hagen's got to be pushing 50 then, because that movie came out in the early 90s.
1992.
I was 1 year old.
I was 7.
All right. Let's find out who the 6th seed is. The take on Mulan. It's the Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid,
son of a bitch,
versus Mulan. I'm going to tell you right now, there are some brutal matchups.
No,
First
that's
round,
not
second round.
That's not what I'm sun bitching you about. You know what I'm
sun bitching me about then.
You know exactly what I'm sun bitching you about.
I don't know what I sun bitching you about.
Now I'm upset because I was gonna pick this one and I didn't.
Yeah. Gotcha.
This is tough.
This match isn't difficult to me. Rebellious Teenage Daughters both, but one of them definitely stands out for better cinematography as well as more catchy musical carrying.
I will say I'll go over it once we're done. I did do this entire bracket with Haley and I's 6-year-old. Was really shocked by her winning movie. But we'll get to that later on in this episode. It was a lot of fun. Waiting for Haley to do whatever she's doing over there. She ready?
Whenever you are.
Having fun? All right, let's see him. Who moves on? Clean sweep. Little Mermaid. Haley, why Little Mermaid?
Also a classic of my childhood. I loved red hair, and the Little Mermaid's just got a lot of different moving parts that are it makes it a very good, well-rounded movie. You've got villains, you've got a happy ending, you got a princess, angsty teenager, and you got talking fish.
She's big on the talking animals.
Yeah.
So is Disney. That's it. Harry, you brought up a lot of the great music in Little Mermaid. What was your favorite?
Under the Sea.
Yeah, makes sense.
Sebastian the Crab killed it.
Hagen, was this too new of a movie for you?
No, this was actually one that gets replayed some at. I was a freshman in high school when this came out. It gets played at. This is one of the reasons why Alila loves fish so much. Alila loves fish so much. This is one that she likes to go back to. But Under the Sea has to be one of my favorite songs that came out of a Disney movie. So,
well, you guys set up a really fun final. The 3 seed Aladdin and the 6 seed The Little Mermaid.
No, we set up a go screw yourself Isabel final.
Yeah. 100%. You know, if you would have just brought in a cupcake final pick for one of these two, it would have been really easy. But no, you had to make it difficult.
Shouldn't even have to ask me my vote. You should know this one.
You can't vote for Tangled anymore. It's eliminated.
Now I'm upset, Randy, because this was one that I talked
That's
to you
2
about.
out of the 3. 2 out of the 3 already. All right. I like
Haley,
it.
do us a favor and just tell him to screw off.
I do every day.
That's the nicest thing she would ever say to me. What are you talking about? All right. We know one of the picks. Let's see everyone right now. Who makes the final 4? Ooh, we're tied. Oh, The Little Mermaid. Last chance you can, Harry. Go ahead and just talk about your favorite movie.
So we talked about the fact that there's rebellious characters, rebellious, almost teenage-like characters in both movies here, because you brought up Ariel and Little Mermaid. Aladdin was much the same way. The teenage street rat, more or less, running and escaping and doing what he had to survive to keep him and his monkey friend alive. I will put myself out there. My very first crush as a 7-year-old was Princess Jasmine.
She's pretty cute. I mean,
and then seeing the woman who voiced her as well as an adult confirmed my crush on Princess Jasmine.
All right, Haley, why did you go Mermaid?
Well, The Mermaid, like I said, it's a very well-rounded movie. You've just got a good story all throughout. I love Ursula. She's a great villain. I think that I like her as a villain more than I like Jafar.
Oh, that's that I don't agree with that one.
Just me. And I also go to the fact that I think that overall The Little Mermaid is done more in the next movies that followed. It just had a better story to go off of. And I do like Aladdin. I'm not dissing Aladdin at all. I do like Aladdin, but I think The Little Mermaid just had a one-up on it for me.
The other reason that I would put Aladdin ahead of The Little Mermaid is because while the Genie's version, the Will Smith Genie version of Aladdin wasn't great, the live action one that they did, the live action Little Mermaid movie they did stunk.
I never watched it.
Yeah,
I have not watched it. Yeah.
It was terrible.
I've heard good things.
I think the only thing that I stumble on with this one is I prefer Little Mermaid, but the hands down best part of Aladdin has to be Robin Williams. I mean, the voice, the man, the things that guy could do, I just phenomenal. But for me, there was so much more of a story with Little Mermaid for me. So, but Robin Williams, hands down, one of the best.
Don't forget Gilbert Gottfried in that movie too. Harry, for what it's worth, I would have also went Aladdin with my pick, though I do kind of agree with Haley as far as Ursula over Jafar. Another bad bracket idea. Disney villains could be a lot of fun too. All right, let's go ahead and look at your scores so far through the first quarter of the bracket. Only one person has made it on the board so far. Harry, trying to defend his title, dominating, 3-point lead so far. Harry, how do you feel about your gigantic lead right now? He's muted again.
Well, you know what they say, everything's bigger in Buffalo, including the snowstorms and the point totals.
This game, or this episode comes out after Buffalo versus Kansas City. Hopefully that has a fantastic result for one Buffalo Bills fan who sits below me at this point. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Yes.
It's either me or Robert Taylor. Who would you rather put up with for the rest of the season?
Robert Taylor. Well, we'll talk.
Would you rather is another type of game.
It's on a whole different show on a much more popular platform. The Rich Eisen show, slightly more popular than Bad Brackets for now. For now. All right, let's go ahead and get to the next bracket while Steam all of a sudden decides to pop up on my other screen. Here we go. Somebody else gets points. Are we ready? Somebody takes. Oh, actually, I have to look. Hold on. Yeah. More points will be given out to Harry Broadhurst. 101 Dalmatians, the 15 seed, against the Great Mouse Detective.
Really?
Yep.
Really? Yeah, 24 slots.
Man, if 5-0 doesn't make this list, we're scrapping.
It was on a lot of lists that I found. I eliminated one of my favorites to put a couple of these on there because it kept topping all these lists. This was one. Doesn't mean I agree with it.
Whoever created this list originally needs to be punished by having to deal with a Randy Isbell bracket.
I agree.
It is very quiet.
I don't know if I like that.
By the way,
I don't know if I like that.
Fifel?
Haley, I see Haley changing her board.
Yeah. Fifel is a Universal Pictures movie, so when you brought that up, Harry, I got really nervous because I love that movie. And I go, why did that not make the bracket? Oh yeah, because it's not Disney. Okay, I feel better now. You had me really worried that I really screwed this up.
Well, then he can go west on his own time.
Yeah, he'll be west in a different bracket. All right, Let's reveal it. 101 Dalmatians versus the Great Mouse Detective. 3, 2, 1, go. Were you saying that you didn't like this movie and then you picked it?
No.
Or were you saying you didn't like the 101 Dalmatians movie?
I don't like 101 Dalmatians.
How do you not like Cruella de Vil?
I was just about to say, after all the praise you just heaped on Ursula, Ursula doesn't hold a candle to the evil that was Cruella de Vil. She made a jacket out of dolls.
She made puppies.
Which makes her a great villain.
It's terrible.
But unlike all the other villains, Cruella was much better in her live-action movie than she was in the animated movie. Yes, that was very good.
I would also point out the fact that people like Cruella de Vil actually exist, which teaches the reality of that life isn't always fair.
Well, it also makes you, as a young child watching 101 Dalmatians, very sad for all the puppies getting murdered. I did not enjoy that movie because I just wanted to cry every time I watched it.
Well, you'll watch it again in the next round.
101 Dalmatians does move on. Robert, any thoughts on puppies?
For me, I mean, got to be in the top 5 villains of all time with Cruella de Vil. But
spoilers for that.
How could you not like watching the puppies running down the road? And I want to say it was like 1960 when it came out. I mean, all the original animation of watching a Dalmatian run down the road chasing the cars. I mean,
basically what Hagen appreciates is the fact that there's a movie older than him on this list.
Listen, my number one is older than me significantly.
He says, all right, let's have some fun. Let's have a battle of some P movies. We'll use that phrase. Pinocchio versus Peter Pan.
And whoever said Pocahontas, no soup for you.
That's hard.
No, that's no brainer.
No, it's hard.
I'm with Hagen on this one, although we might not have the same pick for it.
That's always the best. Oh, this is a no-brainer, and then you just have completely opposite answers. It's the best.
Tonight's episode of Bad Brackets brought to you by Fanta. Apparently up there, Isabel. I saw that.
Absolutely.
Fanta. Oh, dude. Best sodas is definitely a bracket.
I agree. 100%.
For sure. Because I'm going to be sitting here drinking the entire time. Okay.
Gatorade over there.
Jeez, going back to our debut episode, I know they didn't let you have sugary cereals. Were you a pop drinker when you were younger, Robert?
Not a lot. Not until I was older in my teens, and it was the cheap kind, Shasta Cola, Shasta Root Beer.
Oh God, I remember the aftertaste Shasta used to have. Never again.
Are you done over there?
Haley's still thinking about it.
There's so much editing I gotta just cut out of this. That's great.
Or she's playing. Are you playing tic-tac-toe?
With the cat, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it looks like you're writing, and you have us all confused.
Me and Hagen are filling time. It's okay. We got this covered.
Absolutely. All right. Pinocchio versus Peter Pan. Reveal now. Oh, Haley.
I didn't know how to spell it.
No, just you were going to break your daughter's heart.
Oh, she's got Peter Pan pretty far up there.
She has Peter Pan winning the whole
I know.
thing.
She loves Peter Pan. She does.
Harry's dead set on Peter Pan. Harry, tell us why you agree with my 6-year-old.
Well, the main thing for me is Pinocchio's okay for what it is. I was never super sold on it. And then that god-awful Geppetto came out and just took any of the sizzle away from that movie to me.
But luckily, that doesn't count. This is the old movie. All the other crap don't count.
Well, good luck separating the two to a lot of Disney fans. Peter Pan to me has arguably the best supporting character of all time in Tinkerbell, and one of the best villains in all time in Captain Hook.
Yeah, he'll probably make that bracket at some point. Also, if you want to make a better Pinocchio movie, you can. He's in public access.
So Steamboat Willie now too.
Yeah. Yes,
One of the best iconic figures comes out of Pinocchio that isn't Pinocchio, that comes out of this movie is not Geppetto and not Pinocchio. And
I like Jiminy Cricket.
He is an icon. I mean, bottom line with that. Jiminy Cricket is one of the main characters that comes out of that movie. Now,
that's what I was erasing. I wrote Jiminy Cricket down because I was just going to put Jiminy Cricket, but then I put Pinocchio.
Now, see, I grew up, though. I did watch Peter Pan. I actually, growing up until I was probably 10 years old, 12 years old, had Peter Pan curtains in my bedroom. Yes, I said it. Peter Pan curtains made by my mother. God rest her soul. She had them hanging in my bedroom until I moved downstairs when I got old enough when I was in high school. But I had Peter Pan for a lot of years, but nothing beats Jiminy Cricket. Period.
I would argue Tinkerbell is a better sidekick than Jiminy.
All right. This is going to be a fun one, I think. Because somebody really liked 101 Dalmatians. But they really liked Bambi.
Let's put all the animal death movies against each other.
Hey, there was
what a dick.
I had a lot of fun making this bracket. And there you go. 101 Dalmatians versus Bambi.
I'm getting a contact high from this Sharpie pen. Good grief, these things are strong. Remember, kids, don't sniff markers.
I agree. All right. I think I know Hagen's answer. I'm pretty sure I know Hagen's answer. The other two, well, I think I know Haley's answer too. So, Harry, I think you are just going to hang out here. Go ahead. Let's see him. 1, 2, 3, go. Ooh, I was wrong.
Dalmatians wins.
Wow.
I give Harry some more points.
No, you don't get any points for how far they advance, just for them being on the board.
That's good. He has left the room.
Hagen has stormed off. He's calling. Hagen's calling bullshit.
It's the first retiree of Ad Brackets. It only took 2 episodes. It is the second time we've had somebody.
Than Robert.
It is the second time we've had somebody storm off the camera, but it was because Harry had to go get his box of cereal. So that didn't really count. But
I had a prop for the last episode.
Yes. All right, Mr. Hagen. We've talked about 101 Dalmatians enough.
Wow.
We'll let you go ahead and talk about Bambi, because just like Bambi's mother, it's gone.
That's the thing. I mean, it has to be the number one. I'm shocked to see what the number one movie is going to be, because this is. I just don't get you guys. You talk about Bambi's mother dying, and you see it, and you see the pain and the hurt.
Great.
One of the best movies to ever, if not come out of any kind of cinematic animated movie, period. Pixar, all of it.
The one thing I will give
Bambi's mother.
The artist who did Bambi did it in giant paintings that were all put together. I mean, it was just like, it was very, very back in that time. You had to put together all these paintings. Yeah. And it's gorgeous. And I do like Thumper, but no.
Based on what I'm hearing, Disney Sidekicks is another bracket, apparently.
Disney might just dominate some of this stuff. If you like the Disney stuff, please like and subscribe and comment and do all that other fun stuff. And we appreciate all of you guys hanging out so far.
Hit the little thumbs up on the video on YouTube as well. It's greatly appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let me pull this back up.
Unless you two, like Bambi's mother, want to go down.
I'm just going to let
Robert's
this sit for
hurt.
1 second and let Robert notice that his Bambi is just sitting there. All right. More Battle of the Peas and more points are given out. It is Pocahontas as the 7th seed. So Haylee is on the board.
So
Robert,
basically, what
this is just not going well for you.
Basically, what just happened is you just set us up.
Always. That's what I'm here for. I'm 1 step ahead. All right. Everybody got their answers? All right. Which movie will go up against the 101 dogs that killed Bambi's mom? Let's reveal in 3, 2, 1, go. Jiminy.
You guys kill me.
It's a 3-way tie. What are we going to do? No, it's Pinocchio. Pinocchio moves on, and now it is Haylee that is set. So, Haylee, I will give you the floor, as I did for Robert, as one of your favorite movies does not make it past 1 round.
Have you ever heard the wolf cry at the Blue Corn Moon? I mean,
No.
this is a staple. This is a Disney staple. I mean, Pocahontas is really one of the best Disney movies, and to be beat out by Pinocchio, that's ridiculous. Shut up. There's a raccoon. There's a hummingbird. There's a pug. There's a pug.
It's Disney's reenactment to try to figure out the whole Walt Disney with his wife and the Lewis and Clark thing. They're trying to build a story to recreate the trip of Lewis and Clark that fails miserably.
No, that's not at all what it's about.
Robert, no.
It was based in Massachusetts. I mean,
Where do you think it started?
It's Pocahontas, not Sacagawea. You should know the story of Lewis and Clark. We live in the Lewis and Clark.
They're still part of it.
I mean,
so that's where Lewiston and Clarkston come from. Today I learned.
Pocahontas it's a very, very well-deserved movie to be above Pinocchio. I'm just saying.
Harry, Lewis and Clarkson, Lewis and Clark, and my son went to Sacagawea Middle School.
Well, I mean, it does make
all full circle.
I guess it does make sense with Lewis and Clark State College.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also true.
And Walt Disney, as Robert said, he married his wife in Lewiston, Idaho. So here we are.
Not sure we want to be heaping a ton of praise on Walt Disney right now, though. His animation studio is excellent. Walt Disney as a person, not so much.
Now, there's a lot of bad people that have made great things.
Then what? Never mind.
All right. Which bad person's going to the finals? Cruella de Vil or the kid that could just not tell the truth? 101 Dalmatians versus Pinocchio. One of these two will make the final four despite all of the crying from Robert Hagen and Haylee.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that all of the picks in this particular subregion kind of stunk personally. And I say that as somebody who picked up 15 points and padded his lead.
It's a good bracket, though. This is the most debate we've had so far.
I would agree with that.
It makes it a good bracket.
Yeah, because you guys kept picking chocolate cereals last time.
Because we can't help the fact that you never eat them, Hagen.
I'm still mad at myself for not knowing that you did not eat chocolate cereals, or I would have just had a chocolate cereal bracket and got that out of the way. The fact that it was every matchup.
Out of curiosity, Haylee, did you watch our breakfast cereals episode of Bad Brackets? And if so, which cereal would you have picked to win?
I have not had a chance to watch it. It got posted while I was at work today, and Randy didn't let me watch it before I did this because he didn't want me to get any sort of an insight on what you guys are doing here. So I have not seen it yet.
All right. Well, what would you say is your favorite cereal of all time?
Life.
I mean, that was one of my point getters. Or no, that was one of Hagen's point getters because he stole it from me in the prediction phase. I think those were the only points Hagen scored, too.
I
Watch that
definitely
first
don't like
episode.
Lucky Charms, so that's my least favorite.
I don't think that lasted very long either.
Good.
All right. Who makes the final four? 101 Dalmatians or Pinocchio? 101 Dalmatians is the vote from Harry. We are tied. And Pinocchio surprisingly moves to the final four.
It's the donkey scene. The donkey scene has got me.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't remember enough about Pinocchio in general to have voted for it even once. I mean, I voted for it against Pocahontas because I think Pocahontas was overrated. Sorry, but it was.
You say donkey scene, and I just think of Clerks 2, and things go wrong.
Family-ish show. Although, can I just say
different Bad Brackets episode?
Can I just say for the record that I am shocked by this, that the first F-bomb of Bad Brackets was dropped by Isbell himself?
I'm not surprised.
Me neither, to be 100% true.
I'm surprised because I have a very foul mouth.
So
as I said when we were starting this whole thing, it's like R&R Sports Report that Hagen and I do. It's based with the college. We have to be nice. This we attempt.
So we're getting on the same level as Pat McAfee. Is that what you're saying?
I would like to be on the same level as Pat McAfee money wise. That's for sure.
The following is a collection of informed opinions from a group of jackasses and do not reflect those at ESPN or its affiliates. Be warned that there may be curse words because that's how adults in the real world talk.
Great.
All right, we are halfway through the bracket. And Harry, with an 18-7-0 lead. He only has one more chance to make some points. Robert still has all three of his still on the board. Haley with two more.
I will argue that I'm definitely getting points for Cinderella, but probably not a lot. I left myself open here.
We will see where that goes. Robert, if you were to rank the three that you picked, I'm doing this because I have to switch some stuff over here. So you are my person who is going to stretch some time for me. Rank the three movies. Rank your three movies in there for best chance to win you some points.
The best one probably to win me points is going to be Lilo and Stitch, I believe. But you've got to think iconic. As much as you guys kind of fussied over Fantasia, I think Fantasia makes the list, but I think the one that's guaranteed points is going to be Lilo and Stitch. So
I would say Sleeping Beauty's your best chance at points. And for Haley, I'd say Hercules is probably a more likely contender than Hunchback, even though I will say that the villain in Hunchback would be one of the better villains as well.
He was terrifying.
I guess I'm old school, and I look at it as far as the
you've never said that in your life.
I forget that Haley is significantly younger than I am, and probably hasn't seen half of those movies.
I'm significantly younger than you are, Hagen.
Let's go with the newer generation with this matchup. The 13 seed, Zootopia.
It's a good movie.
The 20th seed, Encanto.
Ooh.
I have yet to see Encanto.
Well, then that's a default vote for Zootopia, isn't it?
It is. That's where I'm going with mine. Zootopia is one of those ones after testing time or right at end of the school year or end of Christmas break time is the movie that's asked to be played.
All right. You guys have your answers?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see them in 3, 2, 1, go. Zootopia, which made the list because it's like one of the highest earning movies ever for any Disney animated movies, Pixar included, which was shocking. And because of the sloth, yes, the DMV sloths were very much used in the promo videos.
The tongue-in-cheek nature of the DMV sloth had me howling. And you know what the sloth's name was?
I can't remember.
Speedy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense. All right. Zootopia moves on.
Stupid.
We move on to the bottom part with another newer movie, Moana.
Haley's never going to do another one of these episodes again.
Against one that I wanted to move up, could not find ways to move up because I'm not a fan of this movie. I think it's overrated, even though it's a classic. And once we got to the nomination phase of this show, I wish I had moved it up. Cinderella.
Mic drop. The champ is here.
I think the champ might still be here. I think it's an overrated movie. I'm sorry. As far as all the classics go, this is one of my least favorite of the group. So it had to be on the bracket 100%. I get it, but
I think my vote here might surprise you.
All right, everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see it in 3, 2, 1. Doesn't surprise anyone. You guys are with me.
It's such a better movie.
So I appreciate the fact that I felt bad for putting Cinderella 21st, and you guys all went, nah, Randy, you're right. This is a good bracket. Thank you.
It was good for its time, but there have been so many better movies.
Right there. See, I had Cinderella, but Mr. Broadhurst took Cinderella before. I think it's one of the easily top 8 movies of all time by them. But there's something about Moana, and I think how many times the granddaughter has wanted to watch it over and over since she was like 2 years old.
I have 2 things to say to that. One, Hagen, that's life. And if you watch the debut episode, you'll get that reference, folks. 2, just because it's iconic doesn't mean it's a good movie.
Yes.
It's true.
Moana tells a much more captivating story. For the time that Cinderella came out, the display, the way that it's presented is fantastic. However, the story is incredibly outdated in today's current culture. Whereas the story behind the cultural history of Moana, in order to bring back her island to relevancy, oh my God, it's the island of relevancy.
You've got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson
with The Rock in the movie.
I mean, you can't not vote for that.
I guess you could say that this film Roman reigns supreme.
So many wrestling references, and I absolutely love it. I hope they bring up Moana for this Reigns Rock rivalry that's incoming. I cannot wait. Side story, just for fun, since it's the only time we can talk about it. The very last theatrical or theater performance that I was a part of back when I was a theater kid was a different version of Cinderella. I was asked to just hop on. I did not try out. They were just begging for guys at this point. So they went, hey, you're going to be Cinderella's dad. And I went, cool, because it's Cinderella. He dies. I won't be in there very much, and I'm just going to help out. They gave me the script. I kept flipping pages. He doesn't die in this version, and he sings. So it was great. It was fantastic, and I hated the whole thing because I'm not much of a singer. So there you go. There's your little antidote.
To be fair, you're barely an on-air talent.
Definitely not that. It's 100%. I have told hundreds of people that I have a face for radio, a voice for the newspapers, and I suck at English. So that's my talent for you. And I work in all 3 of those industries. It's great. All right. Zootopia, the 13 seed, will go up against the 4 seed. And again, we will continue with the newer movies up on the top of this bracket. And of course, that brings up Frozen. Zootopia versus Frozen.
As much as I want to, my niece would kill me.
Again, a 6-year-old did this. A surprise upset happened in this part of the bracket.
Frozen doesn't win this sub bracket for her?
No.
Really?
It lost to Encanto, which did not make
Encanto should have made it. It's so good.
I think if we did this later and Robert had actually watched that movie, then
Haley?
maybe it did.
Haley, we don't talk about Encanto.
We don't talk about Bruno. We could talk
or
about
Encanto anymore.
Yes. It's so good.
All right. Reveal the answers. Utopia and Frozen now.
I hate doing this.
Do you want to build a snowman?
That's exactly what I was thinking a second ago. With all of us dealing with the snow around us, what a better fitting song.
My girlfriend.
Okay,
all right. So without attempting to post-date this too much, 6-day turnaround and all, welcome to the industry, kids. My girlfriend literally posted that song yesterday when it snowstormed here in Ohio.
It gets stuck in your head. It's just one of those movies. The rest of the movie, I'm not even a big fan of, but that song, it gets stuck in my head all the time.
Well,
have you watched the...
Oh, sorry, Haley, go ahead.
Have you watched the terrible video that goes around, and it's like the girl that is like watching on her tablet, and they put a gun to the keyhole, and it's like, and
yeah.
It's like, oh my God, it's terrible. It's so terrible.
Or the best.
Yeah.
I would argue the whole "Do You Want to Build a Snowman" thing. It's not even the most iconic song in the film. The problem is the other song is just so badly overplayed that it grates on people.
Yeah, "Let It Go" obviously was the big hit from the movie, and it got, as Harry said, overplayed. And "Let It Snow" became the new popular movie or song from that movie until it gets overplayed, and then I don't know where we go from there. All right, in the bottom bracket, Moana goes up against the 5th seed of Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, so this is head versus heart.
Here, Riz.
This is head versus heart here for me, because I have a childhood tie-in to one of these films and an adult tie-in to the other.
1000%. I already wrote this down, and Riz. All right. You're making this
Randy
difficult.
in some aspects here.
Rest in peace, Jonathan Nelson.
Yeah. I forget. Was he the first one that coined that phrase? I think he was.
Him and Watkins pretty much in unison were the first to call you Rancid Randy on the game show one.
Yeah, we're going to have to come up with a different game show one. But it was hard enough to cut that down to 64. Doing it to 24 might be impossible. All right. Let's get your answers. Beauty and the Beast and Moana. Who moves on? Go ahead. You're good. There you go. Robert, waiting and out of here.
Yeah.
What did you get for waiting so long, sir? Robert,
he knew it was coming.
Wait. I missed my cue. Robert, it doesn't matter which one you pick. Oh, okay. I tried with the Moana thing. It didn't work.
It was. I'm kind of like Harry on this one. It was. Do you vote with your heart or the one that is most common over the last 10 years? And so both of them iconic, but that's why I went that way.
So modern memories, like I was saying about Frozen, modern memories of watching with my niece when she was a little girl for Moana. And my niece is 16 now, so you keep, those are the kind of memories you keep with you. For me, though, memories of watching Beauty and the Beast with my no longer with us little sister. So to me, that's the one that tugs more at the heartstrings. So I'm going to take Beauty and the Beast here.
Beauty and the Beast was my sister's favorite movie, and we watched it endlessly as kids. I mean, it's up there with Pocahontas, Beauty and the Beast. Like we were both, those were our two favorite movies, and Gaston, and he's just is a great, like, just not necessarily a villain, but a ego. Like the ego on that man, just awful.
He's a villain.
He's sort of.
Gaston is definitely a villain. Now his underling wasn't so much a villain; he was just a clueless. He was a clueless assistant.
Yeah.
Gaston may not last long in bad brackets, but he would be on that bracket, I'm pretty sure. All right. A matchup that could be interesting. Frozen and Beauty and the Beast. Who makes it to the final four with The Little Mermaid and what else? Pocahontas? Is that what we had in there? No.
Pinocchio.
You're right. It was a P movie. I just couldn't think of what it was. All right. Let me get that. All right. Let's see who makes it to the final four. 3, 2, 1, go. Beauty and the Beast. Robert flipped. He was the one that was going against Beauty and the Beast, and then he joined the right side, and Haley lost her spot. Haley, why did you go Frozen?
Because, I mean, for the last 12 years, that has like been a number one movie. It's amazing. Beauty and the Beast, also a great movie, but I think that just the storyline and just the popularity and the boom that is Frozen, like, I mean, every little girl wants to be Elsa. Not every little girl wants to be Belle. I mean, even when Beauty and the Beast first came out, like, you had all those other princesses, and Belle, she's great, she's smart, yes, but she wasn't the most popular princess, and she's still not the most popular princess. And then Elsa came out, and Elsa was the most popular princess and queen, and it just, yeah.
Harry?
I would argue the fact that Belle has not so popular actually increases the value of the movie because it gives a positive role model for little girls to look up to in Belle. Yeah. The bookworm that does the right thing, even if it's not necessarily the easy thing to do. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life lesson.
Absolutely.
Megan, you got anything?
The only thing I would say is you've got to look at one plus thing. The Beauty and the Beast was still one of the movies that was first animated computer starting to come out. So they were still using hand-drawn stuff and and starting to get computers in there. But it was also part of one of the ones for Best Picture in that year. So you almost have to tip the scales that way.
Well, I would argue that Frozen definitely won Best Animated Picture, but that was when it branched out into being its own category.
Fair. All right. One bracket left to go. Only 6 more options. And there's 5 possible spots left. Will all 5 of them be in this final bracket? Or is Harry just running away with this? He's got a big lead. He's having fun. Haley, I'll ask you the same thing. Hunchback of Notre Dame and Hercules. How confident are you about your 2 picks?
Well, I would hope Hercules makes this list. I mean, Hercules is an amazing Disney movie. Hunchback is just an iconic Disney movie. Great storyline. I'm pretty confident, but then again, there's only so many picks left, and there's so many great movies left, and I'm kind of mad that those 2 weren't already listed. So
I'm going to be really curious as to see some of the names that Isabel removed at the last minute. I'm sure that could probably be like a post bracket conversation.
Yeah, there was a lot, and there was some that there are images I downloaded to possibly put on the bracket and ended up not putting on. One of my favorite Disney movies that I think is underrated, I had on the bracket. It ended up not making the bracket. I decided to go off of other stuff instead of one of my favorites. I'll talk about that here shortly. But yeah, it was really, really difficult to get down to 24, but we got 6 spots left. And I'm
going to make a bold prediction right now.
Yeah.
I'll make a bold prediction right now. That main spot there, that number 1 spot that hasn't been revealed yet, I'm calling it right now. It's Lion King.
We will find out. The 16 seed, The Emperor's New Groove.
Yes.
Very good movie.
Yes.
Haley, don't get mad at me.
No.
against Hercules. She gets points, but I knew this matchup was going to be really rough for her. Emperor's New Groove and Hercules.
Just two great movies.
Yeah, 16-17 here is a very appropriate setup for this match because these are two maybe undersung Disney classics. Emperor's New Groove. I know the guy behind the voice is very polarizing to some people. Me personally, I am a huge David Spade fan.
Yes.
And hearing him voice a Disney character was awesome for me. But Hercules with isn't it Danny DeVito as the voice of the little guy the little troll that helps Hercules out in the movie there, and another gorgeous Disney princess as well.
Yeah, it was a tough one, and with all the movement I did today on this bracket, this matchup never moved.
It's Phil. Phil's the goat.
Phil's the Danny DeVito character. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, who moves on? Let's see him.
Oh, you guys. I love it, but no.
Haley is never going to do this show again with you people.
At least one of us is going to have to.
You guys killed off Bambi way too early.
No, I'm pretty sure the hunter did that.
I'm sorry. I had Hercules winning this entire thing, you guys. Okay. Hercules is hands down my favorite all-time Disney movie.
If it makes you feel
just great.
If it makes you feel any better, y'all have already eliminated my pick as champion as well.
And we've eliminated Robert's. All three champions are out before we get to the final four. It's completely opposite from episode 1, where everyone's champion made it to the final four. 2 of them were the same.
Actually, everybody's champion made it to the final because
that's right. It was the finals.
But we won't say what that is. You have to go back and watch the episode.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. So, I'm very curious to see what wins this now, because usually you can kind of get an idea from what they send me. It's a mess for what you guys have for Final Fours and finals.
I'm so upset right now.
Welcome to Bad Brackets.
This is stupid.
All right.
She's never doing this again. Hagen's right.
The 9th seed, Wreck-It Ralph.
It's a Disney movie?
Yes. It says Disney right above Wreck-It Ralph. It says Disney on the thing.
I can't see.
Against Tarzan.
I'm going to wreck it.
Easy.
Yeah, Disney did do Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, this one's a no-brainer.
And I will say it right now because it's not obviously the 1 seed or the 8 seed. Wreck-It Ralph I absolutely love. It was also between Big Hero 6. I almost kept on this bracket to not keep Big Hero 6. It's one of my favorites, but
I think Big Hero 6 is overrated.
It's a great movie, but
and I get it. But I also it was on it until this morning, and then I moved it out, and I totally get what you guys are saying. No, what did I move in? Hold on.
Bambi.
Let me flip through around these old ones.
Oh, Haley.
I know the Great Mouse Detective was a new one that got in.
Shot through the heart, and you're to blame.
Zootopia was not on the bracket originally until I saw how much money it made.
You give Bambi a bad name.
All right. Wreck-It Ralph and Tarzan. Let's see it. It's disappointing.
It's
John C.
Tarzan.
Riley. John C. Riley. One of the best. I feel like this is chocolate cereal all over again.
So many video game references. I love Wreck-It Ralph.
I don't dislike Wreck-It Ralph, but what was the one that came out after Wreck-It Ralph? Was it Pixels?
Saves the Internet or something? Are you talking about the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph? Or?
Oh no, the sequel was really good because that's when they go into the game area.
Yeah,
well,
Ralph
I will
Saves
say
the
that.
Internet.
I will say this much: I did appreciate the Penelope Von Trapp character in Wreck-It Ralph with Princess Penelope, voiced by Sarah Silverman. I've never been a big Sarah Silverman person, but she was excellent in that role. But to me, Tarzan's iconic, and Tarzan, when it comes to overall staying power as well, you can go back and rewatch Tarzan and find something new every time. There are a certain amount of video game references that you're going to catch in Wreck-It Ralph, and especially if you watch the sequel, because the sequel is super heavy. The sequel is super heavy into the video games references because it's based on It's based on what was created as a video game for the movie concept itself. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a certain disconnect with viewers of a certain age for movies like that, though, because they're not going to be a part of that video game generation, which is weird because Hagen's the one who voted for it.
I mean, you've got John C. Reilly, and the big thing with me is you think what the kids are doing nowadays and the programming side of it, and like Randy said, the gaming side of it is just. It opened up a new realm to some of these kids, and I think has a lot to do with it. Yeah, it's almost 12 years old now.
The guy from
still one of the ones that gets watched all the time.
The guy from 30 Rock was the voice of
John C. Reilly.
No, the guy from 30 Rock was the voice of the protagonist, the builder guy.
Fix It Felix.
Yeah, Felix. It was the young kid from 30 Rock.
Yeah, I can't remember the actor's name, but all right, let's go ahead and move on. And Harry spoiled it. Number 1 seed is The Lion King. Super classic in the 90s when it was. I watched all these Disney movies in the 90s, so they got rated a lot higher. So Emperor's New Groove versus The Lion King.
Should be Hercules versus the Lion King. But
is it really going to matter after this matchup ends, Haley?
It could. It could have.
I'm going to tell you, for me, it would not have.
It could have got a vote. It could have been a contender. It was not a contender.
I could have been somebody, Rock.
If we do bad brackets long enough, we could do a whole bad brackets on Rocky movies because they just won't stop.
Yeah, that would require.
If you count all the Creed movies,
that would require me to have to watch them, and that's not happening.
They're all really good, except for Rocky 5. That's the only bad one.
I mean, I feel like we could redo sports movies.
Yeah, sports movies is definitely one.
I know we did sports movie, and this time you could actually put Talladega Nights on the freaking bracket, Isabel.
No, because if it didn't make the 64, it's not going to make the 24. I don't know if Talladega Nights would make the bad brackets of racing movies.
You're a John C. Reilly fan. Tell him, Hagen.
I agree with him because he's right. Talladega Nights wouldn't even in my top 100. Sports movies, but that's coming from a guy who thinks Hoosiers and
oh yeah, he did get pissy when we kicked out Hoosiers in the first round, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That was a fun bad bracket.
I remember that.
We will relive these things.
And remember the Titans. You guys busted down. Remember the Titans too.
Remember the Titans made it to like our semifinal.
And Rudy.
Overrated. I will die on that hill.
It's all right. I'll make sure Harry's not invited to the sports movies one, so Rudy can move on. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I have a question, Mr. Isbell. What does it say underneath my visage down there? What does that say? The champ. Oh,
no,
you're an asshole.
I've also learned you only have to click that once, not twice. I opened and closed it 4 times trying to change that really quick. It did not work. All right. Yes, it is the champ. And most likely it will say that again next week, but we'll see how the rest goes. But right now it is, what are we doing? Emperor's New Groove and The Lion King. Who do we got? You have to lift it up so it says yep. Yep. There it is. I knew it was on your board. You just had it too low. Lion King all the way.
Yeah, I mean, probably the best, hands down, soundtrack of any animated movie to ever come out.
I mentioned. Oh, sorry, Robert.
I was just gonna say. I mean, look at those people on there. Whoopi Goldberg. You've got Elton John on there a couple of times. Hans Zimmer. I mean,
I'm still waiting for the main name.
I said Elton John.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Elton
Rowan
John.
Atkinson, sir.
No.
Mr. Bean.
No. Can you feel the love tonight? And no, I'm not going to sing anymore.
No? Why not?
All right. So I know it still has at least one more match to go to, but I have to share the personal story here and the reason that I just told up what I had. I mentioned Beauty and the Beast and my little sister before. I cannot watch The Lion King anymore because I cannot make it through that movie without crying. It was my little sister's absolute favorite movie, and we probably watched it a dozen times, if not more, before she passed away. And this was on like the old Disney clamshell VHS case. I'm going to let you guys know right now, I don't care what it's going up against in the finals of this region. Lion King is moving on for me.
Absolutely. Don't blame you. She had great taste. Lion King is my favorite Disney movie. It's number one for many, many reasons. However, has a horrible Genesis game. That's all I'm going to say.
It's terrible. Oh, so bad.
That and Aladdin both, man. Aladdin for the Genesis was next to fucking impossible too.
Yeah, I always get Aladdin's flip. Both. Super Nintendo and Genesis Aladdins were different. One of them was fantastic. One of them was garbage. I always forget which one was good. I think it was Super Nintendo was good.
Have I ever sent you my my emulator site?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I have them over here.
Oh, you have one already? Okay.
Not emulator. I have the games.
Do you have a way to play? You have a Retron?
No, I have all the systems.
You have the originals.
Oh, he has the actual systems. Yeah. Well, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants. Yes. Look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Yeah, one of these days I'll get back into streaming. I have one TV hooked up with 9 old systems. That one has 4. We have 2 more TVs. I'm a game collector. I got a lot.
And then look behind Haley.
Yeah.
We have 3 arcades.
That is also in my basement. The 3 there.
Yeah, but you don't have the best. You don't have the best arcade game down there.
Which one?
Mortal Kombat.
No, I'm not a big fighting guy, and we have a 6-year-old, so I just wouldn't get a lot of play. I was hoping you were going to say NFL Blitz because I've been begging.
Blitz is excellent.
I have been begging for NFL Blitz.
Blitz is excellent
added
too.
To that combination.
Blitz is excellent, but you can find Blitz on most of the newer gaming systems.
It's different.
We don't need another arcade.
If you would think that Haley and I need to get NFL Blitz, leave a comment down below. There's lots of them.
We have no room.
I'm going to make a lot of YouTube accounts.
Denise would like a pinball machine. That's what she would like. She worked at Costco. She worked at Rollaway, and her favorite game was Earthshaker. She loved Earthshaker when it was the Rollaway. So,
Harry, remember earlier today when I told you I was trying to get these episodes to stay under an hour? It's not happening.
Well, to be fair, there's quite a bit that's getting edited out. So
some, but I knew this episode wasn't going to. We've had a lot of really fun conversations, and some actually revolve around Disney movies. It's been good. The 8th seed, the final name on the list.
I probably won't get 8 points.
Give one to Hagen just out of pity.
Hagen gets points. The last one on here, Lilo and Stitch. Hagen gets 8 points. He's not. Lilo and Stitch versus Tarzan.
You know what's going to happen, right? Hagen's going to quit. Literally, I mean that. He's going to be off the next episode.
You're not wrong. He's not on the next episode.
That's why I said it.
No, I've got a couple episodes coming up, but not the next one.
We've got the rest of January and February booked. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun with some really fun bad brackets. If you have ideas, I joked about the NFL Blitz thing. If you have ideas and you've made it the hour or so we're into this episode, thank you very, very much. But leave your comments for other bad brackets. We are very, very open to ideas. We have some great ones down the line, but always open 2 suggestions. We'll get to what is next week at the end of this episode. But right now, we are going to find out who wins Lilo and Stitch versus Tarzan. Let's see the winner. Yep.
It's a great movie.
I agree.
It's a great movie. It is one of my favorites. It made my top 4.
It's about to get absolutely massacred here in the quarterfinals, but
we'll see.
Looking at stuff. Hagen, why do you like Lilo and Stitch?
It's one of those movies that just seems to always be fresh, and who wouldn't want an alien falling from the sky and hang around and be your best pal? I want something like that.
I seem to remember a really crappy movie called Planet 51 where that was kind of the idea behind it too.
I know so much about the movie Lilo and Stitch. It is one of my all-time favorite movies. I know how much she paid for Stitch because he was a dog at the animal shelter. It's just a overall just really, really great movie. And it's so funny and it's just adorable. I mean, absolutely adorable.
I was letting Haley get one last talk about Lilo and Stitch because it goes up against The Lion King. We have one more spot in the final 4. Who takes it? I don't even think you need the extra vote, sir. But we'll see. All right, let's see him. Experiment 266. I like it. That The Lion King does move on as expected.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie, Haley. Lilo and Stitch is fantastically done and definitely a product of its time as Disney started to make that transfer away from the artist imagery into the computer-generated imagery and much more in the advances in that field. However, there are so many iconic moments, songs, and characters from The Lion King, it stands out as maybe the definitive Disney classic.
I think that my thing is there's just so many movies that are just based around just so much anger and sadness, and Lilo and Stitch was just fun and lighthearted, and there were a couple of moments in there where there was some sad story, but it was mostly just overall a very good-hearted, funny cartoon. And it was like in the peak of when Disney started doing their whole kind of branch out to be more targeted toward teenagers. They had the Disney Channel, and you had a lot of those kids that were becoming musicians and things like that. And it was just an era that kind of jumped up into their more cartoony, just fun, lighthearted movies.
Absolutely fair. I love both of these movies, and it's totally fine with what you guys picked. But now it is time to decide who makes the finals. We have our final 4. First matchup, The Little Mermaid versus Pinocchio.
I'm just going to say that second semifinal is an absolute jackass move, Isabel.
You can't blame me for semifinals.
At
this point, we're at the peak of the peak.
That should have been the finals, though. If Aladdin wasn't going to make it, that should have been the finals.
So, am I okay to share this already with everybody, Randy?
What do you got?
This, where you all know, was my final 4 until I said winning. Until winning, I thought Bambi was going to sneak in. Ask my original
this
message.
Was your final 4.
Was my final 4 is what is on this thing. I should get 50 points for having this.
That's not what those bonus points are. Nothing says 50 ever.
I'm a key deal. We'll give you 1/2 of 1/2 of 1/2 of 50. So that's like 6 points. Congratulations.
So are we writing 2 down here?
Just one. Little Mermaid and Pinocchio is our matchup.
And if you would like confirmation, I will forward you the message text that I did send to Randy originally.
I am excited that all four of my picks for the Final Four actually made the bracket this time after Waffle Crisp got jobbed out last show.
That's true. Actually, all four of your guys' each of you had your Final Four actually make the bracket. And that was before me even messing with things. They were very much in. All right, let's get the first finalist, Little Mermaid or Pinocchio. The Little Mermaid moves on to the finals. Robert, one last thank you to Pinocchio.
The two of you have killed not only Bambi, but now Jiminy Cricket, you may rest in peace because you had the Little Mermaid saw off Pinocchio's nose and beat Jiminy Cricket over the head.
She needed to collect some more things.
And apparently a wooden nose was one of them. Peace out, Pinocchio.
Whatchamacallit?
That's not a thingamajig.
A thingamajig or a whatchamacallit? You know.
Maybe it's a who's it.
A who's it, what's it?
So the 90s dominate Disney, as we have one 90s movie in the finals and one more will join it. Which one will it be? The Beauty and the Beast or The Lion King?
This is a tough one for me because, like I said earlier, these are my little sister's two favorite Disney movies. Mm-hmm. And putting them up against each other in anything other than the finals is kind of an asshole move. Like, if mine wasn't going to win, I'm perfectly okay with hers winning. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert, I guess, technically.
Well, we've already said that none of your guys' champions even made it this far. You guys just destroyed each other's picks. I think your champion was the only one that actually won a round.
Well, in fairness, didn't my champion have to play a play-in?
Yeah.
No, Aladdin was a 3 seed. I take that back.
Yeah, you played against Jungle Book and Snow White, and you won one, and then you lost in the Elite Eight. All right, who makes the finals? Ooh, it is up to Hagen. Bow down to the king.
I'm just so over. It's yes, it's a great movie. It is, and it's, to the king. You know, but you can only watch The Lion King so many times.
I think you can say that about most movies.
Most movies, yes, but there's some other Disney movies I could just watch over and over and over and over again.
All right, we'll just get right into it. Who wins this whole thing? The Little Mermaid or The Lion King?
So, you know what the craziest thing about this is? Mm-hmm. I mentioned my little sister earlier. I actually have an older sister as well. Her favorite Disney movie? The Little Mermaid. And Eva's favorite Disney princess is Ariel as well.
So there you go. They have better taste in Disney movies than you have, apparently, because theirs are still in. Aladdin, not in. All right, we will do this as we did last episode. Just for the finals, we'll be going one by one. Robert, reveal. Okay, Haley.
I hate it. I'm not happy. I'm very upset. I didn't want to vote.
Oh, I really thought you were going to go the other way. And Harry.
Yeah, it's a clean sweep.
Yeah.
Really?
The Lion King, the number 1 seed, ends up winning bad
Stupid
brackets. It's not stupid. It's just science, and it shows how great this bracket was. And I'm so proud of myself for doing this. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and look at your guys' stuff. Obviously, I put the points in here. Here was your final.
Yeah, send us over to the side there, Isabel.
There you go. This was the final four for Harry. He did get 2 points.
4.
Yep.
Beauty and the Beast and Mermaid.
You're right. Why is the other one not showing up? And you had Aladdin as there it is. It's going very slow. You did get 4. Haley got nothing. And she had Aladdin, Hercules, Lilo and Stitch, and Pocahontas. And I think combined they won 3 rounds. And she did have Hercules all the way. But Robert, as he said, he would have had 8 points, but he had to take one out to put Bambi in because he was dead set on Bambi winning the whole thing. Then he took out The Little Mermaid, which did cost him some points. Luckily, it did not cost him the whole thing. So there you go. It only took 2 episodes for all 3 champions that you guys individually picked to not even make the final 4s.
I will give Hagen credit for having the champion in his final. Oh wait, spoiler. Sorry, my bad. If you want to see how we get there, feel free to tune into the debut pilot episode of Bad Brackets. But Hagen had the champion in this final 4 in the first episode too.
But congratulations to Harry. This was a much closer round than episode 1. But Harry got all 3 of his in, and once again got a spot in the 20s with one of his.
You only back of Notre Dame.
Yeah, I've not fixed the 2 on here.
Okay.
I was trying to update all the stuff early, and I missed the 1. There you go. 41 points, which was nowhere near what you scored last week, I don't think. But
because I had I had the 24 and the 21 for my serials.
Yeah, you ran away with it really quickly. This one a bit closer. Hunchback of Notre Dame not making the bracket, though I did make a graphic for it in case it somehow did. Same thing with Sleeping Beauty. There's a graphic made, but it just did not quite make the top 24. Fantasia, I agree with all of you. Not even considered.
No,
to be in the top 24.
I will say that it is an iconic Disney film, and it's one of the first feature Disney films as well, which gives it that special connotation to a lot of people.
It is how everybody knows orchestra music, besides Bugs Bunny and that one too.
I know orchestra because of Bugs Bunny. Cartoon characters should be a future Bad Brackets episode.
We got a lot. It's bad. Cartoon characters could go a long ways as well. So that's going to do it for the animated Disney movie bracket. Again, we'll do a Pixar one later because obviously it was impossible to cut it down to 24 when you include all of the Pixar movies. So Pixar will have its own one at some point down the line. Next week's episode, yes.
I feel like we should have cut this Disney into generations. I feel like if we would have cut it into a couple of different episodes and done before the 80s, the post
before 80s, Robert Hagen and after Robert Hagen.
No, not necessarily that, but I mean, it would have made it a lot easier, and I feel like our votes would have gone a little bit further in some of it.
I don't think that's true. There was a handful of movies that just missed the cut, but I don't know if we could have 48 of these movies and have good matchups throughout. But I mean, if you want to start your own thing, feel free.
No.
I will hesitate for a second as we get. All right. As I was trying to get to before I was so rudely interrupted, next week's episode will contain your 2-time Bad Bracket champion. Harry Broadhurst will be back next week. Eric Watkins will be back on the show, and Sean Garmer will make his first ever appearance on Bad Brackets when we look at not video games, the best video game controllers of all time. It's going to be a really interesting bracket to go through. That is next Monday. Again, if you really like this episode and you stuck all the way through it, we appreciate you so very, very much. Like, comment, subscribe, do all your YouTube stuff. Share it with your friends, and especially let us know where we went wrong with the bracket decisions. What was your final four, and what was your champion? But until next week when we get to the video game stuff, and maybe we'll even talk about what you guys said. That could be an outdated reference, sir. They could be eliminated before you put that up. Let's be fair. But again, next week, Bad Brackets, Harry, Eric, and Sean, video game controllers. We will see you.
Bro, that's some bad juju.
It is bad juju. Oh, I got to say the thing. I'm so glad you. We've lost it right here at the end. I'm just going to throw it out there. In honor of Razor Ramon, as I want to say every episode, but I am old and forget a lot of things. Not as old as Robert, but I am old. As Razor Ramon kind of said, good brackets
Paraphrased.
do not last forever, but bad brackets do.